My life is about healing. It's about an increased measure of health and wholeness and transformation. I was born into an environment of crime, violence and prostitution. My father was a young offender. He was violent, he was abusive. His mother, she ran a brothel. His sister, my auntie, was a prostitute. That was literally my family. My father was serving a 9-year prison sentence for robbery with violence. They put me into a foster home. It was a very cold, bleak, unpleasant place. I was abused. I remember being isolated, no company, no other children, just the four walls. When I was about 9 years old, my mother together with my stepfather took me to their new home in a London Overspill. They actually needed a child to qualify for the council house. My stepfather, I didn't get on with him at all. He was harsh, bullying, very Victorian, very uncompromising. My childhood was very traumatic, and even as a young child I would experience bouts of depression, and it would be nothing to be ignored for anything up to 6-7 weeks and not be spoken to. In this environment I became very angry, resentful, anti-authoritarian. I had a big chip on my shoulder. Nobody could tell me what to do. At the age of 18 I went to Forest Gate, decided to train to be a Royal Marine Commando. 11 months training, I sweated blood and pushed myself way beyond my limit. Eventually was awarded the coveted Green Beret. On one occasion, we had about 3 R&Rs, rest and recuperation periods. I amazingly met 2 Royal Marine Commandos who were Christians. They shared the gospel. They spoke about being a Christian. They took a really genuine and sincere interest in my own life, my own journey. What followed was a truly dramatic encounter with God, which I could never have prepared myself for. Standing in the chapel, I was touched on the shoulder. I believe that Jesus came up behind me and touched me. Electricity ran through the whole of my body, and I passed into a deep sleep or a state of unconsciousness. I couldn't speak a word for 15 minutes. My whole speech just ceased up. The years that followed for me were full of darkness, depression and ill health. And I have to say, one would think that in becoming a Christian, all my problems would have just literally faded into oblivion, but in actual fact, the opposite was the case. All these things seemed to surface, and so I spent 25 years in this depression, clinical, circumstantial, everything that had been in my life seemed to surface. And so I turned to alcohol, and I became alcohol and drug dependent. I've never, ever in the whole of my many years as a Christian sought spiritual experiences, but God has given me so many supernatural, extraordinary experiences. I was very abruptly awoken, and God directed me to look out of the landing window, and as I looked up into the darkness, the heavens seemed to part, It was as though they were torn apart. And amazingly, the glory and the goodness and the brightness of God just broke through and filled the whole courtyard. And I was just stood there, bathed in this brilliant, white, dazzling light. It was amazing, astonishing. God had said in this revelation to me that He would close up my wounds, the pain of the past. All I can say is that this most certainly happened. Within about 10 days, I was different. God touched my heart and gave me a new heart, a servant heart. At FCC, I found genuine love, sincere friendship, and a support, really the likes of which I can't say I've known anywhere else or in any other church in the whole of my many years